Hi everyone. I am very excited to bring you a reading today. It has been way too long and I have missed it. I have missed providing these pick a card readings for you. I do have some exciting news. I do have a tripod that I purchased and it will allow me to flip this around so that you're not looking at my face on the readings, that you actually can see the cards on the table versus me holding them up. And I feel like I'm going to try that arrangement at some point here soon. I wanted to do it today, but it's getting late this evening and I just had the energy coming in and really just didn't want to spend the time to try to get that going right now. I just felt like it was more important to get the messages out tonight while I had the energy, because things have been really intense lately, really intense. But I wanted to come on here and do a special reading. We're a week out from Christmas, and I wanted to do a pick a card with my Christmas tarot deck. And I felt really called to do one of these. I've done a couple of these in the past, and I feel like they've really resonated with people. But these are long lost loved ones. So I don't know what is going to come through. I've had kind of a mix. Honestly, I've had it feel more like a deceased loved one coming in. I've had it be a long lost love, somebody that's this, or could just be somebody that you're not in touch with, right? Like a family member you're not in touch with. So a long lost loved one, someone that you aren't in communication with. What type of message do they want to give to you around the holidays, as this can often be kind of a difficult time. It may be something that helps give you closure. It may just be something that gives you comfort to know, right, if there's a sign or something that shows up, that they are still there and that it's their way of communicating with you. So keep in mind, this is a general reading. So, obviously take what resonates, disregard what doesn't. But I am going to use in this reading my Christmas Tarot, which is my latest deck, and the link to purchase that is down below. Depending on where you are, I'm not sure if I would be able to get it to you before Christmas, but if you're local to the Dayton area, I'm sure we could make arrangements for that, or we could probably do some sort of express shipping. I'm also using another one of my self-created decks, the Divination Deck. This deck utilizes it contains every letter of the alphabet, numbers, and then some timing cards. So my first time using this deck with this type of reading, but it might provide further confirmation if a specific initial comes out, or birth date or something like that tied to your loved one. We're also using a couple of Mystic Moons decks, Signs from Spirit, Love Oracle, and the Charm cards. These are just specific little things that help me hone in on messages that help, confirm that it's a message from someone that you're trying to connect with. Finally, we are also using, this is by All Things Intuitive, Messages of Closure. So hopefully that will bring some closure to you guys. And in some cases, I pulled a couple of cards from both of my decks, and in some cases from the Mystic Moon, there were 2 or 3, I think, that wanted to come out in some instances. So hopefully you guys saw the preview of the cool little crystals I've got here. And I will timestamp these. So feel free, if you want to watch, all of them. There may be messages, bits and pieces that come through. Number 1 is the Howlite Snowman. Number 2 is the Aventurine Christmas Tree. And number 3 is the cat hair on it. Is a Howlite stocking, but it actually has the angel, the aura on top of that. So that's why it looks a little bit different. So right now we are going to start with number 1 again, which is the little snowman. We're just going to see what comes through. And just keep in mind, guys, I did shuffle these ahead of time, but I have not seen the cards, so sometimes it takes me a couple minutes to just figure out the messages. So I'm getting, just to give you guys like the first rundown in case you want to flip off of this, I'm not getting that this is a deceased person. I'm getting that this is possibly someone that you've been divorced from for several years. So this is definitely absolutely a romantic scenario. We have from the Christmas Tarot the Lovers card, and the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. The Lovers can be about obviously a sacred partnership, a relationship, but it's also about choices. Wheel of Fortune is about closure. So what I'm getting perhaps is that you maybe you're looking for closure from this person. I feel like they possibly walked away. Maybe they chose someone else or they cheated, and that's what caused the marriage to end. But I feel like this person absolutely did something, and either, I don't know if you've ever gotten the acknowledgement, but I feel like I said, this has been several years, because we have the years card, that this has happened maybe, but it's still weighing on your mind, especially around the holidays, especially if you have family or children, that it's hard that the family was broken up because of this. I picked up on the divorce because of the Lovers card, because of some of the other cards that came out later. But we also have the D for the initial. That's where I picked up divorce. And I'm getting, could be a D initial, a David, a Dave, is coming through, Donald, Don, Danny, Davidson, maybe a last name. But I'm also getting too that this person probably, I in addition to walking away from the marriage, I'm getting too that maybe they have not been supportive of you. Maybe not, if you have children, not providing spousal support or child support. We have coin support here. I'm getting that maybe they're not, they've not been good about honoring those obligations either. Like but I'm getting that whatever cycle has happened here, there could be, even if you haven't heard it yet, I feel like there is remorse here. And this could be with the Wheel of Fortune, and this could be just for some of you. The Wheel of Fortune, obviously fortune can be tied to money, right? But 10 is about closure. It's about things moving forward. So I'm getting that if you're waiting to hear, perhaps that that they're going to start offering support. Maybe they're going to come through with kind of an unexpected gifts at Christmas, something like that, that something is going to shift in motion and get closed out and move forward. I'm getting this as a very positive thing here. We also have Rose as the feminine. And I think maybe they're just acknowledging, this is in the charm cards, the Rose, feminine, alien, extraordinary, that you are, if this is resonating, if you're the woman here, that was left behind, if they walked away from you, that they're recognizing, I think, kind of how you went above and beyond to take care of the children, to even try to pull things together with them. And this also could be just that you felt like maybe they felt alien, in your world. I think that maybe they just, where I'm getting for some of you is maybe they walked away and chose someone else because I think ultimately it was a worthiness factor of them, that they didn't feel worthy. And there was this self-sabotage, maybe they had this self-sabotaging pattern. But I guess regardless of whichever of those resonated for you, this person, what they do want to come through, their higher self wants to come through and say is, I was wrong and I am sorry. So I'm hoping for some of you, that gives you some comfort, but I am hoping that, you see this in the physical come forward. And, coins support. Coins are tied to the Suit of Pentacles in tarot. And we also have two major arcana here. We have the Lovers and the Wheel of Fortune. And I feel like that is there's going to be some forward motion changing in the physical, and that it could happen between maybe Christmas and Valentine's Day. That's where I'm getting to with the Rose. And I keep thinking of Aquarius with the alien, because sometimes they're associated with that, but that February is Aquarius season. So between Christmas and Aquarius season, there could be some sort of shift where they're, maybe offering more support financially, or you do get that apology and that closure that you need. So I think too, what I would recommend, what I'm having here come through, is that if there's any bitterness that you have within yourself about the situation, obviously there would be if this happened, because it's an awful situation to go through a divorce, and especially if somebody betrayed you or didn't want to work on the marriage. But I'm getting, if this has been going on for years, right, that's where there could be things that are depth, like deep down buried, things that you haven't let go of, and it's time to turn that tide and to become, more in your delicate feminine energy. And this can apply too. I mean, if you are a male, we all have masculine and feminine energies within us, but it's time to, especially today, as I'm recording this right now, we are in this full moon energy, this full moon in Gemini, like to cut away things that no longer serve. And if you're holding on, and we're entering Venus retrograde as well, so this could be like where this stuff, even though it's been years, gets stirred up again, that pain right around the holidays where you're feeling betrayed, you're feeling angry, you're feeling bitter, to recognize and look at the lessons that you learned in that relationship. Look at the things that came out of it. If you do have children, be grateful for that. But know that, if you hold on to that heavy energy, that pain, it's just going to fester within you. And if you face that and you forgiveness is such a powerful tool. So I would recommend, if this is resonating, I would write this person a letter, and I would write them a letter of forgiveness, and burn it with the full moon. It doesn't have to be tonight. It can be within the next few days. Even if you're seeing this in a couple of weeks, New Year's Eve, what a powerful way to close out the year, right? Than to do a ceremony where you're writing out all your feelings and letting it out. If you want to let your anger out, let that out. I wouldn't reread it because you don't want to re-imprint it. But just let it out, cry, and then burn it. So I hope that was helpful for you, Group 1. If you would like to look into your specific situation, if you would like to look into, some of the wounds, or the, working through the pain, if you're not familiar with me, I have been through 2 divorces, the second, the most absolute devastating. And it's, something that I never thought I could get to a point where I would not have bitterness, and I would not have regrets, or be able to forgive. And you really can come through it when you shift your perspective, and it really can change your life. So here for you if you would like to book that session to look further into that. Okay, so now we are looking at Group 2 with the Aventurine Tree. I feel like for this, the thing that's really coming through strongly for me here is that somebody possibly passed away in an accident, like a car accident, and perhaps there was alcohol involved. Either they were drinking, or the other driver of the other vehicle, or maybe they were a passenger in the car. But we have the 3 of Cups here, and this is a celebration card, obviously, but I'm just getting, based on some of these other cards coming out, that, and there is another scenario coming through, so I'm going to get into that. But first of all, so we're going to focus on this deceased person. you may have had children with them. They may be the father of your child, because we've got the Page of Swords here. It's like this little girl. This little girl is wanting to mail a letter. Like, this is mailing a letter to Santa, but it's almost like she's wanting to communicate with her daddy. And so it's like I have this scenario. It's just actually really, I'm sorry. It's just really where she's wanting to talk to her daddy. And so maybe you actually sat down with her and said, let's write him a letter and mail it to heaven. Because we also, you have the bird, the conversation card, which bluebirds for me are communication. But this is like, look what came out. This is their message of closure. Yes, I heard you. Yes, I heard you. So, you may have actually physically, had the child, or you yourself have written them a letter, written things out, or you talked to this person. But I feel like this maybe didn't happen that long ago, just within the last few weeks. Or maybe even the child was only a few weeks old when it happened. But we have weeks, and I keep getting the name Matthew, Matthews. We've got an M here, so you can take that how it resonates. That could be the day of the week they pass, Monday, March, the month, May. So if the M is resonating for you, just, take that how it resonates. You may have liked to cook with this person, or something like you and your group of friends, like you guys would have parties. The carrots are here. It says group. I'm just getting like somebody prepping food in the kitchen. Somebody was a really good cook, or maybe had ambitions to be a chef. Spider is weave, so I don't know if you're seeing spiders, and I know like that's a horrific image if you don't want to see it, but spiders, if you've been seeing a lot of those around, they could be an omen about manifesting, bringing in happiness, knowing that it's okay to want to try to create a new life now. And you have the power to do that. You don't have to stay stuck. Although I know, if it's been only a few weeks, then that's something that's, probably a bit too soon. But just know that you have the power, and this could be out, maybe encouragement to go out and join groups, or maybe it's an ambition you've had to learn how to cook or do cooking classes. Maybe that's something you guys like to do together, or you've wanted to do, but you can go out and meet new people and get yourself out there. Sorry, I'm just getting something else coming through. The spider, to me, can also represent fear, and I think it's the fear that you are never going to get out of the grief. You're never going to feel like this again, like celebrating. And just know that it takes time, and just know that when you do communicate with this person, they're not there physically, but they're still there energetically. You can still communicate with them, and that what they're saying is they do want you to get out. They do want you to weave a new destiny. And for whatever reason, their time here was limited, and it may not make sense now, and it may be just this anger, why? And sometimes we don't always know why, how God works or the universe works. But they want you to know that you are going to find happiness again, and that you shouldn't feel guilty about it. They want you to weave a new path forward. Okay, so that was what was coming through on that one. Also getting that you may have met someone, at like some sort of celebration, like an event, like a wedding, something like that. Perhaps you didn't get their information, or you've thought about reaching out to them and you haven't, right? You want to, this is the communication card for me. And again, they could have the M initial, they could have, getting the name Matthew, Matt. But I feel like with the weeks card here, you know, I would just encourage you to like keep going out with the group of friends where you met them. And I think when this yes, I heard you could be that like they know that you're interested, but maybe it's just not the right time. Like they may have just gotten out of a relationship. With the green here, if you were drawn to that, they could be healing their heart, the heart chakra. But just know that this is a powerful time for you to continue like weaving the path. And if you want to, you know, work on that, just I feel like you are able to manifest bringing that in. I'm getting, though, if you're debating about reaching out to them, I feel like I would hold off. I feel like there's something right now where the timing's not right, but in a few weeks it will be. And I keep with the M there, March. There could be some sort of event, another wedding coming up with a group of friends or something like that. But I think, you know, you're going to get clear signs. You're either going to run into them when you're out with your group of friends, and then you're going to know because they're there. But if you try to force something, right, you try to force it, it's just gonna it's gonna kind of repel it away. If you want to draw them in, you know, just continue living your best life, celebrating, getting out there, pursuing your passions. You know, when you get into this creative energy, this manifestation, this weaving your destiny, there's a lot of flow involved, right? If you try to force it, it's a delicate process, then it could all collapse. So what I'm getting is like you may even have telepathic communication with this person, and that's why it's like there's such this strong desire to reach out to them. But what I'm getting is like maybe you're sensing like you're hesitant, right? With this, like, oh, do I do it? Do I not? Do I send them do I reach out? I'm getting if you're hesitant, there's a reason. Trust your gut, and you may even like start seeing bluebirds inundate you around that time in a few weeks, and then that's a sign for me like this might be the right time to reach out. But I get if you do have telepathic communication with them that they are experiencing that as well. So I know those were two completely unrelated messages, but sometimes that's how it works. And hopefully that resonated for some of you. All right, now we've got pile 3, which was the stocking. Okay. Wow. Okay, so I'm getting definitely a deceased energy here. I have a mother. This is more of a mother figure for me, but she definitely could be a grandmother too. And she could be your mother, but also a grandmother to your children, possibly. But we have the Queen of Pentacles, and you can see here, like, this is definitely, you know, that she's the head of the table, the head of the house, that type of energy. We also have the Emperor, which in this deck is Santa, but this could be her father or your mother and father together. Okay, so take that how it resonates, but I feel like these individuals passed at the same time in an accident. I know this is very specific, so I actually hope it doesn't resonate for many people, or anyone really. That would be better because this is awful. But I feel like, and it may have happened around Christmas. It may have happened around Christmas or in March. There could have been 3 people killed in the accident, or 3 cars involved, or it could have actually been a plane crash. But they were trying to hurry to get to wherever their destination was, and there may have been icy roads. They may have been going fast, just not paying attention. Because we've also got 3. So take that, if there's a 3 resonates for you for some other reason. An S, I'm getting the name like Susan, Sam, Stanley. And Sharon. This also could represent Saturday, Sunday, September. So there's a lot of different, possibilities for what that means. But I'm definitely getting the deceased energy because we've got, you guys will see the rest of the cards. Aroma, memories. So I feel like there's either something maybe specifically at Christmas, there may be ornaments that have like cloth ornaments that have a certain scent, or there might be a candle or something of theirs that has a scent that you put out. You may smell scents. Like I just got like cigar, cinnamon, and some sort of perfume, like a floral, lilac. I'm getting lilac. There's also something with yellow flowers. But there's some sort of smell that you're reminded of, and it's the memories that you have of them that's coming up. But I feel like whatever happened with either one or both of these individuals is somebody was engaging in risky behavior involving transportation. Okay, because we have the dice, risky, plane, destination, and then I wasn't thinking. So they did something happened. It was just a tragic accident. Maybe they were going home from something, and an event or something, and they were tired and they should have pulled over and they didn't. And, I'm just getting a lot of scenarios there with maybe they were, I'm not really getting, the drinking. She does have wine there. So for some of you, there could have been alcohol involved. Like maybe they shouldn't have driven home, or maybe they were new, like, flying, and somebody had just gotten their pilot's license, and there was fog, or there was, they shouldn't have went out in those conditions, right? So something like that for sure is coming through. So I'm getting something else just came through for me about a nativity scene. There's like a nativity set or a nativity scene. And the Passion of the Christ. I don't know if that's a movie that, if there has something to do with that, but just those are the things that are coming in. They just, I feel like whatever it was, or if there was any question, maybe there was a question about whether it was a suicide because of what the nature of what happened. And it sounds like if you needed confirmation, it definitely was an accident. They just weren't thinking. They engaged in risky behavior, and it caused this accident. And I just feel like there's just definitely some heavy energy, but hopefully knowing that the smells that you are smelling, like you're not crazy. I'm also getting, especially with the female energy, there may be things that happen, like you're just like, maybe you're finding things like old recipes. Maybe you found something recently, like a necklace, pearls. There just may be like things that like are getting moved around, things that aren't where they should be, and like you keep thinking, well, maybe I'm crazy, but Spirit does have that way of communicating with you. You may be I'm getting like white feathers. Some of you may be finding white feathers inside, and you're like, where are these coming from? There's no explanation. Just know that if you do feel the presence of these individuals with you, absolutely, you're not crazy. They are still with you. And that's how they communicate. They communicate through smells. They communicate through, moving objects around, things turning up unexpectedly, dreams. coins, feathers, repeating numbers, things like that. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. I hope that it was able to provide some closure for you, and I hope that you're able to enjoy your holiday season. Until next time, take care, everyone.